Hello, everyone, and thank you for watching this presentation on the DEAI Equity Assessment Results and Next Steps. Before I introduce you to the team, I wanted to take a moment to sincerely thank everyone who participated in the survey, listening sessions, and have provided feedback along the way. The DEAI team greatly appreciates your support. The DEAI team, formed in late 2020, includes Director Vanessa Oldham Barton, Emily Adler, Dean Bennett, and Tiffany Chacon. In February 2019, a diversity and inclusion team was created, which included employees from HHS, Finance, CAC, and Communications. This group began the collaborative approach to addressing these issues and began the conversations about diversity and equity at CCOB. When COVID-19 hit, coupled with the civil unrest happening in our country, different disparities were highlighted. That is when an official DEAI team was created, and we began the RFP and procurement process to select consultants to establish our next steps. In talking with other municipalities, our plan to hire consultants was reinforced, and we learned that having a consultant expert to guide critical conversations as a neutral body would create a safe space and facilitate conversations in a meaningful way. We partnered with Slalom LLC and the Gemini Group. The recommendation was to begin with an assessment that included policy review, an employee survey, and listening sessions. There are many terms to know when it comes to DEAI. One of our goals is to have a shared vocabulary across CCOB. To do this, we are sharing a few terms that will be mentioned throughout this presentation: equity, diversity, inclusion, BIPOC, and microaggressions. To learn more about terms in the DEAI world, check out our Beach page. Phase 1 of the DEAI work began with an organization-wide equity assessment. The Gemini Group partnered with our team to conduct a document and policy review, and Slalom and the Gemini Group conducted an equity survey and held listening sessions. The consultants reviewed 10 sample core documents, ranging from the employee handbook to social media posts to a sample job description. The purpose of this document review was to focus on the language, requirements, and ways in which Broomfield as an organization could better create a welcoming culture and opportunities for growth. What we learned: we need to be truly intentional and commit to ongoing review of policies and procedures with an equity lens. Who are we including or excluding through certain requirements? Who are we representing or leaving out? What messages are we sending? And what details of how to navigate both internal and external systems remain confusing, either as relics of old policies or just through unneeded language? The consultants reiterated that the challenge, but also the opportunity here, is that it takes people across the organization to create this kind of change. We asked them, how do you know when it's working? And they told us, when these practices become the norm. In addition to the document review, many employees at City and County of Broomfield participated in an equity survey. The goal of the equity survey was to understand the state of DEAI for Broomfield as an organization. This survey remained anonymous and was facilitated by our consultants. The survey was sent to all full-time, part-time, and temporary employees. This survey captured 383 employees' responses. 36% of employees who responded have been with Broomfield for longer than 10 years, 13% 6 to 10 years, 12% 4 to 5 years, 26% 1 to 3 years, and 11% less than 1 year. Race was categorized in the survey results, which respondents identifying as 72% white, 12% Hispanic or Latino, 2% Asian, 2% Black or African American, 2% Middle Eastern, 2% Native American, 2% Southeast Asian, and 6% not specified. Overall, the demographics at CCOB are 80% white, 10% Hispanic, 3% Asian, and 2% Black. Disaggregation of data by race highlighted the disparity between the perception of the BIPOC group versus white staff. BIPOC staff are experiencing and witnessing bias and microaggressions more than their white colleagues. This is a tale of two realities within the city and county of Broomfield. Key insights that came from the survey included 21% of people feeling that they had felt bias at CCOB around racial or ethnic identity. 15% have experienced racial or ethnic microaggressions. 25% have witnessed others experience racial or ethnic microaggressions. And 10% have experienced microaggression based on sexual identity or gender expression. Overall, respondents are encouraged and agree that CCOB is open to continuous improvement. 69% of all respondents and 66% of BIPOC respondents agree that Broomfield could and should head in the right direction of focusing on this DEAI work. Listening sessions were held and facilitated by our partners Slalom and the Gemini Group. All staff were invited, and the sessions were broken up by all staff, BIPOC staff, and managers and supervisors. Individuals were encouraged to provide their feedback and experiences at CCOB on diversity, equity, and inclusion. There were some questions as to why BIPOC staff were given separate sessions. BIPOC staff were provided separate sessions where they did not have to feel pressure to explain their perspectives to non-BIPOC staff, whose lived experience may be different. High-level results are being shared with all staff. There are 8 main themes that came out during the listening sessions. The first is that there's a lack of translated resources for ethnic communities. There continues to be a struggle to provide authentic communication with our bilingual or non-English speaking residents. True cultural brokers would be a valuable resource on multiple levels and enhance engagement. Number 2 is lack of clarity for bilingual employees' additional pay compensation. Although a policy was implemented, there is a lack of understanding around who qualifies, and there remains an inconsistent interdepartmental interpretation of this policy. Number 3, the harm associated with the Broomfield Way. Many of us have heard the phrase, the Broomfield Way, which may have begun as a way to encourage employees to always go above and beyond, and to many staff, including the BIPOC population, this is a majority white privilege mentality with limited to no understanding of other cultures and communities within our own Broomfield community. Number 4 is slow-moving action of DEAI work. Many employees voiced their concerns about the ability for CCOB to move forward with DEAI work to include continuing conversations, momentum, and training. Almost all staff believe that training is important to the success of this work, and there is an overall feeling that this work will face roadblocks when it comes to leadership and council buy-in. Number 5 is trust in leadership. Another theme that has emerged was the fear that leadership will not truly embrace the DEAI journey. The employees stated that they want to see that the priority language is followed by the priority action. They want visibility into the process on leading DEAI work and meaningful markers of accountability. Next is a lack of diversity in the workforce. The theme of lack of diversity in the workforce was a powerful one. BIPOC colleagues report often feeling tokenized and that they are responsible for this progress, when in fact it will take all of us to further equity work. Microaggressions and discrimination at work in the community. BIPOC staff have experienced various levels of discrimination and microaggressions in both the workplace and in the Broomfield community, and cited consistent examples of this behavior. Number 8, need for targeted outreach in connection with Broomfield's ethnic communities. Staff would like the city managers to know that Broomfield is changing. There are communities of color within Broomfield. No matter their socioeconomic status, the city and county needs to conduct outreach to communities to let them know they are part of Broomfield. Many of you provided the consultants, DEAI team, and the CMO with valuable insights and feedback about this work. These themes, also captured in the survey, represent words and phrases that were consistently repeated and related to the challenges and strengths at CCOB regarding DEAI. These themes and key points will be incorporated into the upcoming training plan. As we continue to move forward, the DEAI team will be partnering with HR and department heads to communicate the plan for mandatory classes for all CCOB staff. Our consultants are working to create a meaningful training plan that will allow CCOB employees to feel engaged and have a common language, understanding, and framework for DEAI areas of focus and learning. Our team will continue working on community outreach projects, supporting our internal and external programs and partnerships that are beginning to incorporate the important topic into their work. In 2021, priority areas for our team will include supporting and enhancing equity-based work in cultural and creative economy, housing, juvenile justice, public health, sustainability, translation services, and translation overall within the community outreach and internal. In addition to an organization-wide training plan, our focus will include growing the DEAI advisory group, which will remain open to anyone who wishes to join, collaborating with communications and engagement, and creating opportunities for all employees to get involved in the DEAI world. Finally, again, we wanted to thank everybody for participating in the survey and listening sessions. This work will be ongoing and evolving and continue to grow into something that we will continue to need support with. So we encourage more people to sign up for the advisory group, to reach out to the DEAI team with your feedback, concerns, or just comments, and submit any questions or feedback here. We will follow up and make sure that you feel heard and that we address anything that has come up. Thank you.